Today I'm going to be cooking boneless chicken breast in my Philips Airfryer. That's the bottom part of it. I actually have the rest of it outside. One of the downsides with the Philips Airfryer is that and I imagine all air fryers, is that they end up with a little bit of grease inside where you can't really clean it, and the thing ends up kind of smoking, and so it just it's easier to run it out on the deck, and then that way I don't have to worry about smoking up the house with the grease smoke, as well as setting off the fire detectors. So the first thing you want to do when you're handling any kind of meat is wash your hands, and then with chicken and pork in particular, I like to go ahead and just wash the pieces of meat under the faucet, just to be extra sure that there's no salmonella or any kind of problem, any kind of bacteria that might be on the surface of the meat. Okay, so I've washed the two pieces of meat off that I'm going to be cooking, and so I have right here, I have some McCormick Xhicken Seasoning, and so I'm going to just kind of sprinkle that on both pieces of meat, and then take my tongs here and see if I can flip these over, and then sprinkle more of the seasoning here on the other side. So the next step is to take the pieces of chicken and place them in the basket of the Philips Airfryer. So we'll place those down in there. So here we are outside on the deck, and so I'm going to place this in here. There we go. So that's in there. And then with chicken, I have found that I'm much better off if I go ahead and select a longer time, and then that, of course, that depends on how much chicken, and this is those are two pretty good sized pieces of chicken. So I'm going to start out by setting this on probably about 20 minutes, and then at the end of 20 minutes I'll cut into the chicken and see how it is doing. I have it set on about 360 degrees, you can see right there. Now, of course, this model of Philips Airfryer that I have is just a completely analog unit. It has a mechanical timer, and then that's a mechanical way of setting the temperature. They do have digital versions of this with a digital controller, but with an appliance like this, I actually prefer mechanical controllers because I believe them to be a little bit more reliable for long-term use. Okay, so it's in the process of cooking, and so we're looking at the back of the unit. That's where the hot air kind of comes out right there. And let's see, so if I aim this digital thermometer, infrared thermometer, at the right place, you can see it's about internally, depending on where it's hitting at, about 235 degrees. I think that's about the hot, well, 242. So, and that's probably partially internal. Now if I come around to the side here and try to take the temperature of the actual unit itself, the plastic is fairly cool to the touch. It's showing like 80 degrees, kind of 90 degrees, 97. Now if it hits, you can see where the light is hitting. It's hitting inside those vents, and so then it's upwards of around 250. Okay, now the time has expired. I'm going to go ahead, from prior experience, I'm going to set this for about probably, let's see, I'm going to go for about I don't know, roughly 12 more minutes, and then I'll check it. So I've done this a number of times, and it seems like, if I set it for 20 minutes, that's just not quite enough. Again, sort of depending on how much meat and the thickness of it. Okay, I think I've cut into the meat, and I believe it's to be done. And so I'm going to go ahead and take it out of here and put it on the dish right here. And then I'll clean this up later. What I have to do with this is let it soak. There's some grease that's going to be collected in the bottom of it. The thing is still hot, so there's a little bit of grease, not a whole lot. It depends on the type of meat that you're cooking, but so there's not a whole lot typically with chicken, but there is a little. So when this cools down, I'll put some warm soapy water in it and let it soak for a while. So here is the final result: the 2 pieces of boneless chicken breasts, and as I say, I did cut into it, and it is done, and so now it's time to eat.